Hi, and it's time for more peer tutoring tips and tricks. So just to recap, the six major things that I do in every peer tutoring session is getting to know the student, minding my body language, positive acknowledgement, explain it, show it, coach it, and try it, do it, explain it, and ending the session with a plan. This is part 5, the try it, do it, and explain it. This is the only one that I wrote that is what the student is going to do instead of directing this toward the tutor. This is what you're going to have the student do. You're going to have the student try one, do one, and explain one. And what I mean by that is the try it part is when you're coaching the student through trying a problem. Remember from last one, part number 4, when the last thing that you do after you do a problem for the student is you have the student do a problem and you coach them through it. Well, this try it is the student's half of getting coached through the problem. Now, the do it part is after you coach them through a problem, you have the student do one on their own. Now, this is very important. By this time, the student should have the pen in their hand and the paper in front of them from doing the problem that you were coaching them through. So you should not be writing at this point anymore at all. The student would pick another problem that's similar to the one you just did and have the student work it out on their own, and try to stay silent while you have the student work it out. Try to get them to think about what needs to be done. And it's really important at this stage that you practice active waiting. Make sure that the student doesn't feel pressure to hurry up and finish, or the student feels like you're being impatient or anything. Now, the explain it part, the third part, is you give the student another similar problem, a third similar problem, and have them do another one. But this time, while they're doing it, they need to explain it out loud to you and teach you how to do it. So the first one, coach the student through trying a problem. We've already been through this a little bit through in part 4. But pretty much you just want to recap, you just want to give them hints and talk them through solving the problem. Make sure they're the ones writing on the piece of paper and doing the math and everything if it's a math problem. But give them hints and prompt them step by step. Okay, what are we going to do next? Okay, this is this step. Here's where you do this. What are we going to do next? And prompt them and coach them through it. After the student does a problem that you're coaching them through it, give them another problem that's really similar and have them try to do it on their own. Just, say, okay, well, here's number 12. Try to do number 12 on your own, and I'll be quiet for a minute and let's see if you can do it. And just pay attention to them. This is where I always say I rest my hands on the table patiently, because that lets the student know that I'm not being impatient. So that doesn't put pressure on the student to try to rush and hurry up, because when you feel rushed and try to hurry up, you can't really think straight. You can't think as deep as you need to be able to think how to solve a problem that you're just trying for the first or second time. So just try to stay quiet and don't seem impatient. And don't seem bored or anything. Don't let the student feel rushed, but let them do it. If they run into a bump and they start getting frustrated, it's okay to chime in. Do you want a hint? Do you want a clue? Just ask them if they want a hint, and and then let them continue on from there. Now, make sure you have, I think I've said this before, but I'll reiterate, make sure the pencil is in the student's hand. Don't take the pencil out of the student's hand, or don't use your own pencil, and start doing the problem for them. You already did a problem and showed them how to do it, so let them be the ones to write it down, because they're the ones that need the practice. And C, the explain it part is you give the student another problem after they've solved one on their own, and have them solve the new problem, but have them teach you how to do it. Have them act like they're tutoring you, or have them explain it and narrate out loud what they're doing when they're doing it. Just like how you did when you were showing them the problem for the first time and you were working the problem for them to watch, and you narrated out loud what you were doing step by step, have them do the same thing back to you. Because if you can teach something, then you know something, then that really drills it into your memory. And thank you very much. There's one more part to this series. Check out more of my YouTube tutorials at srusan2 St. Louis Community College.